Good evening and welcome to Boxing Evolution TV Live. Tonight is our very first ever chat show. We're so excited with our guest lineup we've got tonight. We're going to be bringing you in the coming weeks all the best news in boxing, all the best promoters, all the best fighters, and really just want to expose everybody to all the fantastic things that we've got going on in the world of boxing. Tonight I'm so excited. My first guest, Steve Goodwin. Steve, thanks so much for being here.
Pleasure.
You've been around boxing for a while. You've played with the horses a bit. You're a financial analyst a bit. You've got your hands in a lot of pies.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your boxing history.
Well, we started just about 3.5 years ago. Just came into it knowing nobody and nothing. It was a baptism of fire. After doing about 2 or 3 shows, we thought, Jesus, what have we got into here? But we've expanded massively now. I've moved more into boxing management, and I manage 35 fighters now, so it's quite big. But I think that's where boxers need a lot of help in the management side. And my children, Josh and Olivia, both branched into the promoting side. That's where they're going to concentrate on.
I think that's great because you can really develop a nice family business that way. And
Absolutely.
35 boxers you're managing?
And I've only just started.
How do you do that?
I've only just started. I've got a good team around me, and I think it's very important to develop an affinity with each boxer that you want to look after. And it's important that I like the boxer and I feel that I want to do something for them. It's not about numbers, it's about caring. Those boxers that that I can't build, I don't feel I want to build a relationship with, I won't manage. So it's not about the money, because we don't charge them anything at the start or anything like that for the fees. It's about trying to show how it can be done right and develop a boxer's career correctly.
Sure. And do you see? I'm going to ask the rest of our guests the same question. I'll ask you in a little while about your favorite fights in history, and our favorite fights are probably a little more historic than the rest of these guys' favorite fights, right? But do you see a sort of a resurgence in boxing? Not that boxing ever really went away, but I think there's a lot of really bright talent out there today.
There is, but it's not getting the exposure that it used to get. I mean, we haven't got terrestrial TV coverage anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, BBC took a bad hit with the Audley Harrison situation. ITV, I've had meetings with them, they are not interested at all. And I think to a certain extent the channels have been let down by promoters not staging good quality fights. And we really do need terrestrial TV coverage again. Sky now, Matchroom have a monopoly on that. Everybody can have their own views on whether that's right or wrong. What is happening on Sky is you are getting much more competitive fights than you had before Matchroom had a monopoly. So it shows that that's a positive of it, and there's obviously negatives of that. We've got Box Nation, which is obviously coming along and expanding. But there isn't as much terrestrial TV coverage as we want, and we need ITV, BBC, Channel 4, Channel 5 to more than they are to actually get people into household names, because a lot of the fans don't really know who the world champions are.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. I think that the terrestrial TV has an awful lot to do with it, and sort of the golden age of boxing giants when you turn on the Friday night fights or the Saturday night fights, and
absolutely, and we're missing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you're fairly new into promoting, a couple of years,
Very new.
and all of a sudden you've got your daughter and your son, and you're bringing them in to teach them to promote, and your son's promoting this one coming up March 8th, is that right?
He's very smart, he knows his stuff.
And he'll be probably the youngest promoter
in the world.
Ever.
Well, he's only 18.
Yeah.
But he really does know his stuff. He's not a figurehead of anything. He's very smart, and he knows all the boxers, the fights. You can ask him about any boxer in the country, and he knows exactly who they are, how they fight, and whether they're suitable for the opponent. He's very, very smart.
Oh, fantastic. And so how do you go about matchmaking your fights? So is that on your son? Is that on you?
We do it together, and I've got an international matchmaker as well. So as a team of 3 of us, we sit and analyse where the right fights for each fighter, and then we go. Once we've decided an opponent, we go to the manager or the fighter, and 99 times out of 100 they will accept that because we know what we're doing.
Sure.
Sometimes you will get a trainer or a manager request a certain type of fighter, and we will facilitate. If I'm not the manager, we facilitate that, so it's a slightly different job in that we may not necessarily sometimes agree with that fight, but we stage it because we're just purely the promoter. When I'm the manager, I take overall responsibility, so if we don't select the right fights, the buck stops with me.
Right, yeah. That's an interesting distinction between promoter and manager.
And people don't understand that.
Yeah.
You have a much greater responsibility as a manager than solely as a promoter. You're just staging it. As a manager, you've got a lot of my fighters today that I manage. If I don't get them the right fights at the right time, they're entitled to come to me and say, "What the hell are you doing?" So I've got a responsibility to guide their careers correctly, give them the right tests, and what I believe is totally key is that you bring the fights along correctly. There are too many fighters out there that will have 6 or 7 wins against absolute no rounders. Now, we want Frank Buglioni, but we're going to take Frank Buglioni when we're going to beat him. He's
Right.
a Warren fighter. But we're ignoring them for the moment, and we will take that fight when we're going to win.
Yeah.
And we will do it our way, and that means Lee will have had so much experience by the time he fights Buglioni that he'll be ready to beat him. We're not going to throw him in the deep end.
It's a big difference in 10-round fight compared to some. Yeah,
Because if
the
he's
water
had
gets deep.
If he's had 3, 4, 5, 10-round fights before he gets Buglioni, he's going to have handled every situation,
Yeah,
and we'll be ready to win. Our fighters go to win, we don't go to lose.
yeah, absolutely. That's really, really, yeah, that's a great distinction there as well. So tell me a bit more about how many shows are you looking to do, say in this year, 2014?
Between us all, probably 15.
15.
It's quite big, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but we want to keep our boxers busy. We want to guide their careers and have a path. And one thing we do is we've got our dates set out. There's too many fighters in the gym, and you ask the professional fighters, when are you fighting next? I'm waiting for a date. Well, why are you waiting for a date? We've got our dates through to December, so our boxers can look at the dates, decide when they're going to fight, have a plan, a strategy, have a holiday when they want, and they know when they're going to fight throughout the year. And then you can devise a plan. We're going to do a 4-round here, a 6-round here, an 8-round here, or whatever you want to do. So everybody's got a plan and a strategy throughout the year, and we do it differently.
Sure, and then bring them on that way.
Yeah.
And so do you spend much time with your fighters in the gym, kind of checking on them, seeing what's going on?
I try and go down to I go around to the gyms when I'm travelling around. Of course, I'm doing my financial work as well.
Yeah.
But I tend to, when I'm around doing some financial work, I'll pop into a gym. I was at RJ's in Chingford a couple of weeks ago, checking the fighters there. I've been down to Lee Markham and Kevin Greenwood's gym, so I do that as well on my travels.
Yeah.
And I make sure, because I think it's important to go and see the boxers training,
sure.
and to go and see them in the gyms and go and see them locally, because they know you care then, and you
Yeah,
want to go and have a look at them. It's important to build the bonding and relationship. The boxer needs. It's crucial that they know that the team around them they can trust 100% and implicitly, and they know they're looking after their right interests.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you can argue, boxers look at their team and think they're just after the money. Sometimes they will say, well, they're only after the money from me because they don't care. They never come and see me. They never ring me. They don't bother with me. Don't communicate with me. We want to be totally transparent. Communicate with them. If they've got a problem, we deal with it. If they need to see us, we'll see them. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about this event coming up March 8th. York Halls.
Yeah.
Saint and Sinners.
Yeah.
Great name for a show, by the way. Really good name for the show. So tell me, is there any particular fight you're looking forward to more than any other?
I'm looking forward to a few fights. I'm looking forward to the debut of Ben Hall, who you'll see later on.
Yeah, looking forward to
Been
talking
really
to Ben.
excited, really excited to see him. I think he's a future superstar of boxing, so I'm looking forward to him. Looking forward to the main event, which is George Jupp against a really tough kid from abroad who's only lost 1 in 11. That's going to be a really, really good fight. Heavyweight actions, AJ Carter. He's 5-0. He's going to be coming through the ranks.
One, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he'll move up. I can see him getting to 15, 20 wins, but he's going to do it the right way because he's got his head screwed on. And he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to see him. He steps up against a guy that's won 6 out of 9 fights, so it's again a slight step up for him. So we're looking forward to that. Aji Sheriff, our cruiserweight, he's having his second fight, and there's plenty of other action on the bill. Daly Ojediru's coming out from Big Brother. People know him. He's on there. And we've got quite a lot of prospects coming through on that show. It's an exciting show.
Yeah,
and a lot of good prospects on there. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, how about you? When you were younger, did you box yourself?
No, I know I might look like I've boxed, but I definitely didn't. I'll leave that to my son. He's still doing his amateur boxing.
Is he? Yeah.
And he's told me that he wants to do a professional fight, so he wants to do that as well. So he wants to promote his own fight. So that'd be interesting for next year. He wants to do that. But no, I've never laced a pair of gloves on, apart from hitting a few bags in the gym.
Yeah, nice. And so I said I was gonna come back to this. So tell me, obviously you're a big fight fan.
Yeah.
As you think over the fights that you've watched, either on telly, on ringside, what have been the highlights for you? Well,
the best fight I've ever seen, but it's not the best fight it's the best fight for the wrong reasons, was the Nigel Benn Gerald McClellan fight that I saw on television.
Yeah.
The best fight I've seen live for atmosphere, and I was there, was the Nigel Benn Chris Eubank first fight.
Yeah.
At Birmingham. That was fantastic.
Was it?
I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was great. And the worst fight I've been to watch was the Eubank Michael Watson fight, and that was pretty awful. But no, the best fight was Ben McClellan. But it's the best fight for the wrong reasons because it should have been stopped earlier.
Sure, sure. And how do you feel as a promoter now? When I mean, because obviously we've all got memories of great fights, and how do you feel as when you're standing ringside now? And I mean, do you kind of get a sense of accomplishment, thinking, yeah, I've done this now?
Yeah, and also, but it's different now because you're watching your own fighters and the people that you're close to fighting, and I find it hard sometimes if because sometimes there were some crucial fights, there are career-defining fights, and you feel it, or you live every punch. It's different, and it's better. I probably enjoy watching boxing fights that I'm not actually involved with directly, because if one of my boxers is in a fight, it's quite quite tensed up, and it's quite it can mean something sometimes.
Yeah.
So I probably enjoy watching boxing when
How
it's
about
not
watching your son? Is that?
No, I'm not very good doing that. I'm not very good. Yeah, it's, you get a bit excited to say the least. Yeah,
really good. Well, tell our viewers, tickets still available for the event coming up?
Only from the boxers. We're sold out.
Really? Okay.
Ringside sold out. VIP sold out. The only tickets anybody can get are directly from the boxers now.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to come, don't turn up at the door, but get hold of one of the boxers and see if they've got any left. And some of them have got some left, so get hold of the tickets for the boxers.
Great. And that's March 8th at the York Halls.
Be there.
Fantastic. Really, really looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Steve, thank you so much for coming by.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for the chat. Really, really pleasure to meet you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
When we come back, we'll have Jamie Hearn fighting on a future card of Steve's. One of my favorite characters to talk to in all of combat sports, and you'll see why when we come back.
Just come out of Toys R Us. This is my toy for the day. This is what I drive around when we have a bit of fun. Doing a bit of filming for Boxing Evolution TV. Just gonna show you lot around a little bit what my life's like for the day. I'll have a sing-off with Tyson Fury. Yeah, baby. This is my other car, this is my everyday car. I'm just off to Boxing Evolution TV studios now, do some filming for tonight's live stream, 9 o'clock. Check it out, bad boy. Right, so you spent a bit of time with the real deal. You've seen a few of the cars, the houses. We're just pulled up outside the studios now, ready for the filming, so come and check it out.
So did you put my cars back in the garage where they go?
They're back there, baby.
Yeah,
they're
thank
back.
you very much.
That was something else, wasn't it, that singing?
Yeah, brilliant.
What do you reckon is better, the singing or the fighting? It's
Yeah,
close.
yeah, it's close, it's close. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me now is Jamie, the real deal Hearn. Jamie, good to see you. I've not seen you in ages, mate.
You're such a sharp MC.
Keep up
You
with
are the reason. You're everything that MCs want to be.
So you've got some fights coming up, don't you?
Yeah, my first one in 7 years. 22nd of March, Paul Morris. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, yeah. So
I've got some grey hair as well, but that's why I got this hat on.
yeah, well, but how pumped are you to get back in the ring after,
Can't
after
wait.
all that time?
I can't wait to. You know, I've gone off. I've matured. I've done a few mistakes back in the day. I'm gonna come back bigger and better.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm dangerous.
You've always been
And
dangerous.
sexy.
And sexy. Yeah. You know, I've seen a couple of your other fights, and I mean, you know, always a pleasure to watch you fight. You know, you've got a big punch. You're not afraid to stand and bang with anyone. So I'm probably as excited as you are to watch this fight.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's
Yeah.
going to be. Not many people stop him.
Yeah.
He's a cagey fighter, but he's definitely going down, and he's going to get hurt and hurt bad. You know, this is why another reason I'm back in boxing. I like to hurt people, and he's the first victim.
The first victim. Fantastic. So tell me, I mean, yeah. So you've obviously, as you said, you've matured a bit. You've kind of gone away and come back and
Not mentally. I've not mentally matured. I've got worse.
Have you?
Physically.
So how are you approaching your training different?
I'm not really training. Just going to strip clubs and stuff. No, I'm joking.
Same old Jamie.
I'm trained by Dave Pereira.
Yeah.
We used to fight together back when I was pro before with David Hay. The reason I've picked David, he's a younger trainer, so a lot of trainers are stuck in their ways of training with diet and all sorts of things like that. But he's up to date with things, and we gel well.
Yeah.
He likes my loose style. So yeah, we're doing good. Doing good.
And so who are you finding these days that will get in and spar with you and you know, give you good work in the gym?
My main sparring partner is a geezer called Mo Tarek.
Yeah.
He's an awesome fighter. You know, he's not actually had a pro fight yet, but he's getting ready. But he's a dangerous kid.
Yeah. Is he a big guy? How big is he? Is he your size?
I think he's about 16 and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's a big boy.
Yeah, big boy.
Good. Keeping you on your toes.
Trying.
Yeah.
You can't catch me.
So you're finding younger guys to spar with?
No, I don't really spar too much. I'm not a great believer in over sparring. I do enough.
Yeah.
Do enough. Obviously, the better opponent I fight, I'll up it a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm doing what's needed to knock this geezer out anyway.
Yeah. Good. And you've been training a bit with another one of my friends, Tony Giles. I know you guys have.
Yeah, me and Tony are good pals.
Yeah.
We're good pals.
Yeah.
Tony, he's doing his thing over in the MMA world.
Yeah.
Wish him all the best.
Yeah. And so you spent a bit of time in the MMA world as well. So how has that affected or not affected the way you look at a boxing fight?
Look, I don't want to disrespect any MMA fighter out there, but it's bollocks. MMA is bollocks. It's a load of shit. You're around it more than what I am.
Yeah.
Everyone's a shark. They make their own rules up. You know, with boxing, you got to do. There's rules. There's things you have to follow.
Yeah.
In MMA, you can make. There's nothing stopping anyone making up their own organisation and making their own rules up.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Half of them aren't even weighing in on the day. Half of the records they read out are bullshit. It's just bollocks.
Yeah. So I mean, I was just talking with Steve just in the previous segment. We were talking about that I really feel boxing is really kind of on the up.
I think
I don't think it's necessarily gone away. But
I think
when
I done MMA, it started taking over.
Yeah.
But I definitely think boxing is back on the up now. Yeah, 100%. It definitely will be when it starts showcasing me anyway.
Yeah. There you go. And me. Yeah.
Taking you with me.
Together.
Taking
there we go.
with me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Taking with me.
Absolutely. Good. So tell me. I mean, obviously you've been working with Steve a bit, and you're looking at his fighters as well, and I mean, it's just got to be good just to be sort of back in the swing and back around with guys that are kind of like-minded that way.
I don't really follow any other fighters. I just keep myself to myself. If you ask me who the champion is, well, actually, I know who the cruiserweight one is, but I don't know anyone else really. You know, I don't really like boxing. It's just all I can do.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm not much of a singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So boxing's all I can do really, and we're paid to hurt people, so it's a bonus.
So you're in, yeah.
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 I love it hitting people, and you just hear them whimper. There's no better feeling.
Yeah.
Gets me excited now. I'm excited now, Mike. I've got to keep my hands off you.
So let's talk a little bit about when you're not boxing, when you're not thinking about boxing. Tell me what else is going on in your life.
Oh, you don't want to know.
They want to know. They want to
Listen,
know.
The thing is, with boxers, it's like a relationship. Women go by what they hear, men go by what they see. So with fighters, you have to, you know, if you drive these cars and you go to these places and you look like this, they believe in what they see. But they also, you know, you got to do the talking as well.
Yeah.
With them, so it's a bit like a woman. You got to give them a bit of both worlds.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But as far as what I'm doing out of the boxing ring, I probably can't. What's the time? Probably can't tell you now. Probably can't tell you. It's got to be at least.
It's too early, is it?
11,
Yeah. Well, you're clearly not taking singing lessons, so.
Do you feel I need to?
Yeah, maybe.
Right, put me a song on. What's your favourite song? I'll sing it now. What is your favourite song?
Anything you want to sing? Go on.
Probably what suits my voice most is probably Luther Vandross or a bit Lady in Red
Come
or
on,
something. Put me on the spot. Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Cameron. Never seen you looking so. Ah, that's enough of that.
Yeah, that is enough of that.
That's enough of that.
On that note. Jamie, really, really great to talk to you, as always.
And you too,
I'm
baby.
so glad you came by. When we come back, we're going to be talking with AJ Carter, another one of Steve's fighters. Really, really looking forward to talking to him as well. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
So I just want to get back into the ring as soon as possible and do what I do best.
Yeah, and I mean you're currently got to be on top of the world of the way you've been performing lately and the way you're feeling, and like I said, December's a long break, so the first guy in is gonna.
Well, I'm just happy to win. To be fair, I train to win. I train my heart out. Really, that's just all I do, and I just love boxing. I just love being in the ring.
Tell me a little bit about your sort of your daily training regime or your weekly training regime. What does a week in your life look like?
I train 6 days a week. 5 days I train twice a day, then 1 day I train once. So I'll get like a day and a half rest throughout every week. But I don't think I'd have it any other way, to be fair.
Yeah. And how many hours a day are you training currently?
Roughly 6.
6 hours a day, really.
But that's broken down obviously into 2-3 sessions.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And so as you're, I mean, obviously as you're coming up and you're looking at boxing, and tell me what originally got you into the sport. Who's sort of your idols in boxing?
Boxing's been in my blood. I've tried to fight it when I was growing up, but my dad, from the age of like 6, 7, used to force me to the gym.
Yeah.
When I was off sick from school, when I was bunking school,
yeah.
when I was on school holidays, just always in the gym. I didn't used to want to do it. I remember watching my dad's TVs, his fights on TV. I remember him turning over my wrestling. That's what put me off boxing, because he used to turn over my wrestling and force me to watch it. I tried to, like I said, deny it, My uncles were boxers. Family friends were boxers. My family friends on my Italian side are actually Nino Benvenuti.
Yeah.
Which is a former world champion. So
Yeah.
like I said, there's always
There's no
been
denying it, is there?
So I'm just answering a call.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So, I mean, who are your all-time favorite boxers? Who are the guys that you look up to? I mean, obviously your family and guys that are getting you in, but as you're looking at,
Yeah, favourite boxer, I always say Marvin Hagler. I just think he done everything right. He paced himself. He took every fight, all coming opposition. He reigned for a very long time.
Yeah.
He went into other people's backyards, which world champions should do, is fight around the world. And then he bowed out gracefully.
The Hagler Hearns rivalry is amongst my favorite boxing stories of all time. Glued to the television when that was on.
Like I said, I just like the way he came along and stamped his authority on the middleweight division.
Yeah.
And just said, come on.
Yeah.
Which is what any champion should do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's admirable. Even when I was researching about his training camps and what he did, it's just, that's how I think all boxers should act and behave.
So as you're looking at your career and you're looking at moving forward and obviously working with Steve a bit and trying to figure out how you're going to take on the world, I mean, are you looking at the same sort of approach that Hagler had?
Well, yeah, it's just a professional approach, to be fair. I don't believe in cutting corners. Like I said, the experience that I lack from not having hardly any amateur fights is what I'll gain in working with Steve. Not just a little, I hope to work with him a lot.
Yeah.
And learn the game in the professional ranks, because I believe that when I get to the top, I aim to stay at the top, so I'm going to do what I can to get there in the first place.
Yeah, outstanding. Yeah, well, like, again, watching your reel before, I mean, you hit hard.
Well, I've been told that, but I know I could hit a lot harder, a lot better, so that's why I work on my technique, I work on my power, and there's a lot more to come. This is just baby steps, the learning stages.
Yeah.
So
I'm really, really looking forward to your upcoming fight. I can't wait to watch it. I think it's just going to be fantastic again. March 8th, the York Hall.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, it'll be good to get in there. And like I said, I mean, I don't fight. I just announce, and that break from December until my first fight of the next year, it kills me because I just want a mic in my hand. I can imagine if I was still fighting. And
I like
that
that buzz on fight night, the walking to the ring and controlling your nerves and just getting it on, really. I do so much in preparation that I want to put it to use now.
What's fight day like for you? I mean, how do you sort of get ready? What's your mental state? I mean, are you kind of guy that, I mean, I've got friends that they like to go to the cinema before a fight, or other friends that like to be in the venue.
I chill out, watch a lot of boxing videos.
Yeah.
There's nothing at the end of the day that you can learn in a day or a week before your fight.
If you don't have it by then, you don't have it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I just try and chill out and relax, watch a few boxing videos. I don't really, I focus on the guy enough. I've dreamt about the guy.
Yeah. And are you in the venue, and are you kind of getting pumped off the crowd?
I'm in the venue. I'm just chilling at the back.
Yeah.
Then when it's time to warm up, to stretch, to put my shorts on, put my boots on. That's the feeling that I like. That when the adrenaline starts to kick in, and then when they're saying, okay, you're next, waiting for that, and then walking to the ring, and then just the part where you come in and you're announcing, just looking at him, knowing what I've done. I don't care what he's done.
Yeah.
I know I've worked harder, I've trained harder. Yeah. And I want it more. So.
Yeah, really good. Oh, I'm pumped for this event. I can't wait. So, AJ, I'm so glad you came by. Really, really nice to chat with you. All the best.
Well, thank you very much. Take care.
We come back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be with Ben Hall, also on the Saint and Sinners fight card, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Welcome to the Boxing Evolution TV news, bringing you all the latest news in boxing from around the world. Floyd Mayweather has chosen his next opponent to be Marcus Maidana for May the 3rd this year. Maidana became the #1 candidate to face Floyd after his win over Adrian Broner, who was previously tipped as being the next Floyd Mayweather. Commenting about the fight, Maidana has said that beating Mayweather will make me feel like I've won the lottery. On a separate note, Amir Khan has issued a statement complaining about not being picked to be the next person to face Floyd Mayweather. He complained that he had signed a contract last December, which was why he chose to wait around and not fight Devon Alexander. Khan went on to say that he's upset Mayweather did not communicate with him about why he was taking his time and would have preferred it if Mayweather had shown him some courtesy. However, Golden Boy's CEO Richard Schaefer has stated that Floyd does plan on fighting Amir in the future, just not at this present time. I guess you will just have to be patient, Amir. In the meantime, let's see if Maidana is the first one to rock the Mayweather boat. The rematch that we have all been waiting for here in Britain, Carl Froch vs George Groves number 2, is set for May the 31st of this year. Due to the controversial nature of the stoppage and the perception that the fight did not reach its natural conclusion, resulted in outrage amongst the fans, with many demanding a rematch. No doubt this is going to be one of the top fights of the year to see, with fireworks guaranteed. We all better fasten our seatbelts tight for this one. Former professional footballer turned boxer Curtis Woodhouse has confirmed his retirement after winning the British light welterweight title from Darren Hamilton on Saturday. There was widespread rumour that Curtis placed a £5 bet on himself at the odds of 50 to 1 to win the British title, which, if true, has netted him a grand sum in the region of £250,000. Curtis has stated, "I can neither confirm or deny these allegations, but the drinks are on me." Well, Curtis, I'll have a pint of Carlsberg. Cheers, mate.
Welcome back to Boxing Evolution TV Live. Joining me now in studio is light middleweight prospect Ben Hall. Ben,
Nice to meet you.
really glad to have you come on.
Pleasure.
Again, you're also on this card coming up March 8th,
My
aren't you?
debut, my first fight.
Yeah.
So,
How pumped are you then?
I'm excited. Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
what you want to do when you turn amateur. I mean, you do all the stuff you achieve in amateur. So it's the platform's there to achieve good things. So it's just getting the ball rolling now, getting started.
Yeah. And so how do you feel making that step into
Oh, it's different.
professional
It's different
fighting?
sport. I think the whole thing's different. Just because you're a good amateur doesn't mean you're going to be a good professional.
Right.
But I've had good preparation, sparring with seasoned pros, and I've coped with it well.
Yeah. And how has I mean, obviously your training's changed.
Yeah, different, totally.
Yeah.
Different.
So tell me a little bit about that, and what are you learning in the gym that you maybe weren't learning?
Well, as an amateur, it's funny, I didn't really train, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was very mature as an amateur. I just relied on natural talent. I'd train Richie 2 nights a week, Tuesday and Thursday at Repton when I was up there. I'd do my sparring, and then I'd put my stuff on, and then I'd go home near enough. But now as a pro, and I'm with a seasoned trainer, Paul Cook, who's obviously had his son as a world champion, and etc. He's nailed me down. And as I'm getting older, I'm only 20, but as I'm getting older, I've realised now this is my life, and I've got a talent, so I've got my head down.
Yeah.
I just really nailed on with it, you know.
Yeah. I was reading a bit about your sort of training. I have to ask you, what's forest training?
Force training.
Forest training?
Oh, forest. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hill. Oh, I don't want to talk about
Tell
that.
me about
it. No, well, basically, that's on a Sunday morning. Paul, a few of us go. We'll meet up together, and it's about a 10-mile run, but it's all hills. It's all you have to get we're there 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah.
The hills are a joke, and Richie literally can't walk for the rest of the day.
Yeah. You do
So
that
that's
every Sunday.
Not thankfully, not this Sunday.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm resting up. It's a steady run, but
Yeah.
it's a hard run. Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me some of your other training techniques and things that you're doing.
Well, today, for example, I had my last hard session. We done a half hour straight on the pads and body pad.
Yeah.
With a 1 minute rest in between, and that's of high work rates. I'm fit. I mean, I'm pretty fit. Yeah.
After all that hill running.
Oh, well, everything. Yeah, every hill sprints. I do all that. Paul is something. He's a very good trainer. He does.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like I said, as an amateur, I didn't really train. I just sparred. Do you know what I mean? I liked to spar, and that was it. And I just hit the pads now and then. But now, it's you know what I mean. I was like, whoa. Do you know what I mean? Now I've got fit, and because I've started training properly now, I've just improved so much, and mentally I've not just boxing wise, but mentally I've improved. I've switched on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really focused now.
I think a lot of people don't quite get, and Jamie kind of alluded to it when he was here earlier, but
The
I think
singer.
a lot of people don't. Yeah, this is Jamie the singer. Should we change his name to that?
Yeah.
Just call him out as Jamie the
X
singer.
Factor.
Yeah, Jamie X Factor. Yeah, but I think a lot of people that maybe haven't boxed or aren't necessarily close, they don't realize what a mental game it is.
I think it's more so mental. I think
Yeah.
obviously you need your natural talent and your power, But I think it's more so mental.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain level, you're going to be getting competitive fights, and who wants it that bit more. And if you're not, and fitness as well, obviously, if you're not fit, you're doing 12 rounders all the time. You need to be fit. You need to be mentally strong. Mentally strong, not just for the fight, for the training. The amount of training is a joke. 3 times a day, sometimes. You know what I mean, you need to be up there.
Yeah.
To do it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you get in there and you think, but you get on with it. You push.
Yeah.
So that's what makes a champion, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And at 20 years old, I think you've got a bright future.
It looks that way, but I've got to go and do it now. The pressure's on. So.
Yeah.
Nah,
so I got to ask you, what's it been like working with Steve Goodwin?
Oh, Steve's been brilliant. Yeah. Steve's been brilliant. He's invited me to a few things, interviews to get sorted out, but publicity wise.
Yeah.
And he's matched me up against a good opponent who's not no journeyman, who's coming to fight, and that's for me. That's brilliant because then I can showcase my skills.
Yeah.
And I get the knockout because he's not going to there and cover up and just survive. He's there to win, so then I can show them what I'm about.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a different sport. So
it is totally different. Very physical, the pro game. Yeah. But luckily, I've got big punching power. I've had it since a young age. I gave a lot of cancer and stuff like that as an amateur. So hopefully that comes as a pro.
Yeah, fantastic. And so I got to ask you as well. Who are your sort of boxing heroes? Your favorite fight of all time that you've seen?
Well, my favourite boxer is actually James Toney, but I met not too long ago thanks to Steve. He was in England boxing. I went and saw him. But my favourite fighter was Oscar De La Hoya. That's who I box like. He's very textbook.
Yeah.
He punches well to the head, to the body. He's got good feet, and he blocks well. He catches punches well, which I do quite well. I catch quite well, and he's got a very good left hook, and that's my money shot as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's my main punch.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the knockout shot. Yeah.
So be looking for your left hook.
That's it. Yeah. Hopefully they don't.
Good. And so also leading up to this, have you been? I mean, you just said Steve's made arrangements, taking a bunch of. Have you been ringside to a lot of?
I have. Oh yeah, courtesy with Steve. I have. Yeah, I've been to 2 of his shows.
Yeah.
So I've got the feel of it now. But as Steve said, this one's the biggest one. So the last one I thought that was busy. I thought that was a great show, and I was lucky enough to be there, and now I'm lucky enough to be a boxer on this one. Yeah. So it would be with pleasure. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Well, again, I can't tell you how forward I'm looking to this show. And
it's going to be great.
I think every fight's just going to be a cracker.
That's right. Yeah, evenly matched, isn't they? So.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and like I said,
that's what I like about Steve as well. A lot of his opponents don't there to cover up; they're there to work you. So if you're not the real deal, you're going to get found out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got to make sure you put the work in.
Good. Well, all the best of luck for Friday. Really excited about that. And like I said, I think you've got a really bright future.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming by. When we come back, I'll be talking with Aji Sheriff. Again, another fighter on the Saint and Sinner show. Really fantastic card all night long. Welcome back to Boxing Evolution TV Live. Joining me now in studio is Aji Sheriff. Aji, pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming by. Been really looking forward to talking to you. I've read a bit of background and seen some clips, and I mean, tell me how pumped are you getting ready for your next fight?
I'm ready as I can be, really. I've done everything, strength conditioning, all the other kind of work that I've done, technical work, and I'm ready. I'm pumped up for it. Fought in November last fight, so it's been a little while.
Been a long time for you too,
It's been a while, so I can't wait to get back in the ring.
We were just talking with AJ, that's a long break, isn't it?
It is, especially if you're fighting regularly as well. Like AJ was fighting regularly, so he must have felt it a bit more, but
I had my debut and I wanted to get the ball rolling quick as, you know. So
Yeah.
it's been a while now, so I can't wait to get back in the ring. So it'll be good.
So how's your training been going coming up to this fight?
Training's been going good. I've been training 3 times a day, and doing the runs and the strength and conditioning plus technical work as well. But I'm used to training hard, and I've been training hard all the way throughout. Even before I used to box and everything, I've always been in the gym. I'm a bit of a gym rat, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's been good. I can't got no complaints about the preparation for this fight. So.
Yeah, a lot of guys around you helping you get ready.
Yeah, I've got a wicked team around me. I've got a great team. I've got head coach Andrew Edge, who does all the technical work, boxing and everything else with it. I've got strength and conditioning coaches like Richard Jones, PTU. Then I've got a wicked physio, and that helps me out as well, loosens me up with mania. And I've got other people that come and support me as well and help out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good. It's going good. No complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So I mean, how do you see? We talked about this a bit with some of the other guests. How do you see boxing sort of as a sport? You know, we've sort of talked about how boxing is really kind of really becoming more and more popular than maybe it has been the last couple of years, and I think that's due to a lot of young talented guys like you that are kind of coming up, that are being exciting. I mean, how do you see?
Definitely is. It's blowing up. You know, it's definitely. There was a little period a few years ago. MMA was coming up, but now I think boxing taking over again, and it's definitely the new prospects that are coming up as well, and just the talent out there. It's just it's just getting better and better. So
yeah,
it's boxing is going to get better, and it's interesting. You know, it's interesting. I can't wait to see how it expands even more.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Definitely.
I agree, and I think there's huge things in store for. But I think this year it's really gonna.
Definitely, it's gonna get better and better. You got like other fighters there, like Joshua and stuff like that, doing good as well. So it's definitely getting better and better.
Yeah, and so who do you look at as your sort of boxing idols of the past, and as you're coming up and training?
I've got like a mixture of. I haven't got like a precise person, but I've always I've enjoyed Mike Tyson, the way the aggressive style of his fighting.
Yeah.
I've always liked Cotto, his humbleness and the way he used to just get on with business, and he fights everyone. So I've always had a mixture between fighters, you know. I try not to stick to one certain fighter. I always try to like get bits and bobs of everyone, but they all do the job, and they're the type of people you want to look up to as well.
Yeah. Did you watch? I've been watching this series. I recorded it called Being Tyson. That they've been running. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen the series.
Fantastic. No. It's just a sort of day in the life kind of fly on the wall documentary with him. They had an episode where he spent the whole time with Holyfield, and they were just talking about what great friends they are now, and that's I highly recommend that if you're a Tyson fan.
I think I'll have to get that down and record it or something.
Yeah.
So definitely, but I've seen a lot of his footages, and I do a lot of research other boxers as well. So it is good to watch.
He was in England not too long ago. I had the privilege to interview him.
Yeah.
I'd never been starstruck in my life, but I was like a little girl. I couldn't talk. I just yeah, he's a really interesting guy. But it was something else.
He's an interesting fellow, and he does come up with mad stuff, but he does. He's intriguing.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, so this is going to be your second professional fight coming up.
Second pro fight, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we were just talking with Ben a minute ago about how it's almost a different sport fighting pro compared to fighting amateur. Are you finding the same thing?
Truthfully, I don't have much amateurs. I had before amateurs, I had other bouts, like unlicensed amateurs, but I didn't have much fighting experience. But professional game, it is a bit of a difference, you know. Like amateurs more point scoring, and pros more settled down. You got to settle down and fight a little bit more. Training is different as well.
Yeah. But
it does take you a little while to get hang of it. Yeah. So it is totally different game, but it takes a little while. Like he was saying as well, it doesn't matter if you're a good amateur. It doesn't mean that you're gonna make a good pro.
Right.
So you could be like, you know, you could be winning ABA titles after each other, and then go to as a pro game and probably get beat in the first fight. So it's a different ball game, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're working with Steve as well, and kind of looking at your career paths and looking at how to kind of navigate that water, because it's not easy, is it?
Nah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Like before, like Steve's doing a wicked job now, and I had loads of options to go with other people as well. Beforehand, had a lot of meetings with other promoters and managers, but Steve came in, and I sat down with Steve, and everything he said to me and what he delivered, he promised me this and promised that. He's delivered everything so far, so it's been a blessing really. So it's been good. It's been going good, and hopefully we have a good future together as well.
Yeah, I think that his whole promotion is going to do big things, because
it's going to expand definitely. He's got Josh involved as well, so it's definitely going to get bigger and better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You could tell, you know, like you can see yourself as being like a couple of years, 35 fighters, and within so quick as well. So you must be doing something good, you know, on the right. So yeah,
absolutely,
definitely.
Well, good. Well, I'm again really looking forward to this event on the 8th at York Halls.
Okay.
All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming by. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, just want to say thanks to all my guests today. We've had our first inaugural show today. I think it's gone pretty well. I think we've explored a bit about boxing. We've talked to some new guys. Just want to make sure that you all follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Facebook, we're at facebook.com, Boxing Evolution TV, YouTube channel at youtube.com/Boxing Evolution TV. We're also on Twitter at Boxing Evolution TV, and you can find us at boxingevolution.tv on the web. So until next time, thank you so much for joining us today. And next week, Friday night, 9 o'clock, we'll be right here again.